Hello and good afternoon, everybody. It's really a big pleasure for me to contribute to this conference, and unfortunately we cannot meet in person. The area around the Lago Snia Viscosa is a surprising and unusual site resulting from industrial transformation. Why conserve it as a wild area in a city? I would like to share some experiences from a country, Germany, and a city, Berlin, that have undergone as well profound transformation, both political transformation and economic one. And we see with many examples that industrial decline, distraction offer opportunities for novel, wild development in cities, in industrial areas. And this is an example here from Berlin showing the part that has been destroyed by the war, and about 30 years later, a wild forest is growing on those destroyed sites. And correspondingly, in post-industrial areas like the Ruhr area in Germany, there is a development of novel wilderness as well on artificially changed sites. Okay, now I would like to highlight 4 answers to the questions why cities need such wild areas. The first one is a social one. Wild areas are shown as being important for our health and well-being. They support social interactions that are not possible in the same way in traditional green spaces, and they support nature experience, mostly for young people, for children, which have only limited opportunities in densely populated cities to approach nature. And these areas here in the center of Berlin and the center of Berlin are used for a range of social activities. Second reason, wild areas contribute to urban resilience. They support ecological functions for our climate, for example, without producing a CO2 footprint that is associated with traditional green spaces. If you grow such trees, if you plant and maintain them, you need a lot of energy. And with wild areas, this works by its own. And importantly, in times of climate change, wild areas, the species communities adapt themselves to novel conditions. They are places of resilience, of adaptation of nature to urban environments. Third reason, there is a lot of evidence that wild areas contribute to biodiversity conservation within cities. We have a lot of data from Berlin showing that a lot of species, including endangered red-listed species, can live in such places. And finally, the fourth reason, wild places are very often places of remembrance of the past. In Berlin, these are post-war sites. Here, in industrial situations, they remember a previous industrial culture. For example, here the World Cultural Heritage Site in Völkling, that's in Western Germany, a very important ironwork. It is now protected as a cultural monument, and we see the association with the wild nature. And importantly, the built remains are used for cultural purposes. This goes hand in hand. In summary, 4 important reasons to protect such areas, to include them in the urban infrastructure. We need such wild areas where most people live, that's in cities. And therefore, we have a lot of examples that cities had decided in their wisdom to integrate such wild areas into the green infrastructure. Here, examples, very few examples, former airfields becoming new parks in Frankfurt, different airports in Berlin. Former railway areas, this is one of the pioneer projects in Berlin, establishing a novel kind of nature park, which is also a nature conservation area. And former industrial areas, most prominent in Germany in the Ruhr area. Here 2 examples of wild forests. And importantly, these sites, these are all industrial sites, has been linked as a root of industrial nature and highlighted by the metropolitan region, by the single cities. And this illustrates that such sites can also become relevant for the image of a city. I've only a few minutes, but I would use my last seconds for an outlook. Looking at the area of the Lago Snia, which I had the pleasure to experience by myself, I would see in the near future that this area will become a protected wilderness area in Roma for the people in Roma and with the support of all of you. I wish you really good luck with the project and thank you very much for your attention. Bye-bye.